Hi, this is David Jensen, and welcome to a special Gold interview podcast in which I talk to the legendary Tina Turner. I spoke to the music icon about her forthcoming UK tour and how two of her celebrity friends persuaded her to go on the road again. Tina also shared some personal insights about her life in Switzerland, how she manages to stay in shape and keep healthy, and how she enjoys preparing for her spectacular live shows. So, without further ado, let's hear from the one and only Tina Turner. This is Gold. I'm David Jensen. And as you probably, hopefully, heard on breakfast this morning, Tina Turner has just announced her first UK tour in 8 years. And the dates for Tina's tour are the 3rd and 4th of March, 2009, of course, at the O2 in London, Monday the 30th and Tuesday the 31st of March next year at the MEN Arena in Manchester. Tickets go on sale next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Now, that's not tomorrow, but a week from now, and I'll tell you very shortly how you can get hold of those tickets. But right now, well, we're lucky enough to be able to catch up with Tina herself on the line from her home in Switzerland. Tina, you've just announced the tour, so what have you been doing for the last 8 years?
Wow. Really, what I have wanted to do for a very long time. I've been going from one house to the other, not wanting to be in a hotel or a rented house, wanting to be at home with my things, making changes that I want, just to be at home, because for the whole years of my career, it's always one hotel or another place. I want to just be at home, and that's exactly what I've done. I haven't traveled, a little bit of traveling, but not like extensive, and I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed just being at home, from France to Switzerland, driving backwards and forwards through the mountains. I didn't have a need for anything else except that, and that's all I did.
So it's been one big chill out?
One really big, wonderful one.
So you're going back on the road after 8 years. Is it true that Giorgio Armani and Sophia Loren influenced your decision to go out and tour again? Tell us about that meeting.
It was just one of the usual gatherings at the shows of Giorgio Armani, and Giorgio has always just said, you touring again? No. It's always been, no, still not. And then smile and keep going. So this time, Sophia and I were actually seated together. So after the show, we were discussing it. So she said, so, when are you going back to work?
Yeah.
And I said, Sophia, I just... I just really needed to get away and, have a rest. She said, so you've had a rest. I mean, it was, and she was so relaxed about it. And so I said, yeah, but I'm not really quite ready. She says, no, this is ridiculous. You are an international star. It is your duty. And I thought, wait a minute here. I thought that I was able to stop when I'm ready. I didn't know I was setting up something here that I have to continue until I'm 100. And so after this, go to say goodbye to Giorgio, and he says, so when are you going back to work, Tina? And I thought, what is this? Is this coming? And I said, well, Giorgio, I really have no plans. He says, it's time. It was kind of like that, But it was like this one particular time, it kind of got me, because I thought, excuse the expression, I almost said, wait a minute here, to myself. What am I, who do I have to apologize to here? And then I started to think about it. And I thought more and more about it. And I started to look around. A lot of acts are back now. Oh, my gosh, the Eagles, all of the acts of my time. So I thought, if I'm going to do it, this is the time. When everyone is out there, I can still do it. I can live up to the expectation of the crowd. So it took quite a bit of thinking, though. This is about a year. It was about 2 years ago that we were at the show. So then, amongst a few other things, and I started to talk to Roger about a few dates, which I've been doing off and on, a few of the one-off private dates. And so I said, well, I think if I'm going to go, it's now, because I really don't want to go much later, and I don't even know if I can.
Let me say the since, baby, since we've been together, ooh, loving you forever is all I need.
This is David Jensen on Gold. Now, we've linked up this morning with Tina Turner in Switzerland on the day that she announces her first UK tour in 8 years. Tina, have you missed the crowds, the adulation, the stage as well? Are you looking forward to going back to all that?
That all that comes when you're there. My idea when I left the stage was to get away from all of that. It wasn't something I needed at the time. This quiet and this resolve of being at home was what I was looking for. So I didn't miss it. I didn't miss it in that term because that wasn't something that I wanted. I wanted solitude, and I got that. So now that the idea of getting back on stage, you think about, oh yes, the audience and their response to when you enter.
Yeah.
All of that comes. It's a stage where it's the moment. I can't even envision those sounds, to tell you the truth. I think I went so far from that, the 8 years that I was away. It was just I didn't catch very few shows, and it wasn't where I wanted to be, actually.
And you've talked about a gig in South America, which was almost like a religious experience. What's it really going to be like going back into those big arenas again?
Yes, that's the really big ones. That's where I'm going at the moment. It's not the small one-off private ones, but it's the big ones. You got to build the stage for it, because if not, then you really feel like a itsy-bitsy little something in the mixture of all the people and all of that. It's different. It's different all the way around.
So we've seen Kylie and Cher doing huge numbers of costume changes. Almost every song. Which designer have you decided to use?
I'm using Giorgio Armani because I'm comfortable with his clothes, and I can be guaranteed that I'm going to be elegant. I'm using Bob Mackie also for some things as well. I'm going back to my roots, so to speak. I must have one dress, or I think the crowd might hose me out of the joint, and I still can. I'm in shape. I'm still in good shape. So I think either Bob Mackie or Giorgio will make the one dress, and that one will be for most of the climactic part of the show. But most of it is those little leggings that will come down past the knee, and because that's just the style. And the dresses, I've worn them for so long, it's almost boring. But I was at an interview in California. She says, "Oh, no, you must wear a dress once."
And the high heels?
Look how much pressure. And the high heels. You can't go without the lipstick, hair, and make sure you bring the legs along. But actually, I went on a stage at one of those award shows, and I wore trousers, being elegant. And the crowd went totally quiet. And I thought, well, what happened? And then the cue cards went, not the cue cards, I call the prompters, and everything really went kind of bizarre. And I thought, really, what happened? And it says, oh, yeah, the people always want to see Tina Turner's legs.
Well, the dates for Tina's tour are the 3rd and 4th of March, 2009 at the O2 in London, Monday the 30th and Tuesday the 31st of March, 2009 at the MEN Arena in Manchester. Tickets go on sale next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Not tomorrow, but a week from now. And you can get them by calling the Gold Ticket Hotline. The number is 0845 231 8888. 0845 231 8888. This is Gold, and we're back with Tina's big hit, The Best, in a moment. The Best from Tina Turner. This is David Jensen on Gold. Now, we've linked up this morning with Tina in Switzerland on the day that she announces her first UK tour in 8 years. On a more serious note, there's a new generation of singers, Tina, such as Amy Winehouse, who have had success, but have seemed to turn to drugs. How did you avoid these pitfalls?
First, I would like to say to the audience, my view of Amy is that her problem started before her success. And I think that is the problem. And it's probably, I don't think it's so much dealing with the success. The drugs is making it hard for her to deal with the success. But if she was clear, she would be celebrating now, because this is what, when you're that young, you've always wanted to sing. I've heard this girl's voices on some of those compilations. And she's wonderful. Her voice is absolutely timeless. But she got caught up somewhere before she had this success, and now she's suffering from that. That's what I think. I don't know well, it's never too late. Let's put it like that. And if she wants to help herself, of course, she can.
And how did you avoid these pitfalls? I think in the past you've said that there's nothing to show for them when you wake up in the morning.
Okay, what I said years ago is, when you buy drugs and you the people use it and take it, that feeling passes and you have nothing. I don't even know if you can remember what the feeling was because it messes you up so much. I said I'd prefer to spend my money on something that I can see, I can use. It's around me. And if I decide I want to give it away, then still I'm giving someone something that they can see in their hands. Drugs, you get nothing from drugs except a feeling and bad health.
Right.
You know, it's not so good. Of course, it's terrible.
Now, I know you've been asked this a million times, Tina, but there's going to be a new audience out there who will be coming to see you for the very first time after your 8-year gap, 18 and 19-year-olds. How do you manage to keep in shape and stay fashionable?
I knew a very long time ago that when I became an older woman, that I didn't want to wear Gucci at the time. Now, at the time, of course, when Tom Ford came in, he changed Gucci from the old style clothes. I never wanted that look. I never wanted the old woman look. So what do? You keep up with fashion to a certain point. You care about your size, your figure, and the clothes you wear. So that's something I have maintained, not just because of being a star, but because I don't want that. I was concerned about that happening because as the time go on, we know that the changes in the life takes over and plays with the body, the hormones and all of that. But I didn't have that problem either. So I was fortunate. Maybe I totally willed it out because it was something I definitely didn't want. I wanted to always be slender and as attractive as I possibly could be. Because, you know, there's Hollywood. And when you're in Hollywood, all of that influence is around you. So you're always mimicking and wanting to look your best. So now, what was the story again?
Well, just a typical meal. I mean, what is a typical meal for you, Tina? Is it carrot juice all day?
What I decided to do was eat what I wanted. When I started to get a negative result, I would find out what I shouldn't eat. But I continued to eat. The pleasure of life for me is dinner, is in the morning breakfast. I only have 2 meals a day. I always just had 2 meals a day because I sleep very long. And I sleep practically 10 hours. This is every night. So that came from stage work. You just sleep and you go on stage. So I eat everything, but how do you say in moderation? I don't eat a lot of fat. I don't eat loads of sweet. I eat as much as I want, but also I know that I don't want to gain weight, so I eat it in moderation. I've eaten everything from, my diet changed from soul food from the South to Thai food and a lot of the Asian style foods.
Right.
And then it moved from there to Italians. Now, I know the pasta can be bad for you, but so those are the... Yes,
Pasta in moderation then.
Twice a week at least for the pasta. So what I've done is I've gotten to one stage, what I've done over the time, I get to one stage. I don't like that counting. Oh, calories there. Oh, that's too many. I ate that one. And I don't like when someone points to my plate and say, that's X amount of calories and all that. No, I don't care. I'm eating this now. And then this is how I've done it. And I think I've maintained it.
I can't stand the rain against my window, bringing back sweet memories. I can't stand the rain against my window, bringing back sweet memories.
Tina Turner joins us today on Gold. Full details of Tina's 2009 tour coming shortly. And you know, I've just realized we're probably reaching 50 years of Tina Turner now.
50 years now, yeah.
A sharecropper's daughter from Tennessee. I'd love to know what it meant when success first came.
Well, being a sharecropper's daughter, I was always singing and dancing as well. At the picnics, at the school, and the neighborhood gatherings. I was always talented. I was always singing and dancing. So when the success came was when I met Ike Turner's band, and someone didn't show up for the recording session. Easy for me because I've always been able to sing like that. Just pick up the songs. The surprise was actually when I took the music to New York, telling the record company that this would not be the singer. because what had happened was the Art Lassiter, that was the singer at the time, had quit.
Right.
And Ike had to find someone else to sing. So it was a demo, basically. But the record company said, well, why don't we keep it with the girl's voice? I mean, what's wrong with her voice? This is, I want the girl's voice, actually. And so that was the surprise when Ike came back and said, we got a record deal and they want your voice. They want you, basically. They want us, because that's when he put the Ike and Tina.
So in 84, you really took control of your career. You have a great manager, Roger Davis, and it's really starting to go well. 83, 84, wow, that must have been a great period for you.
What that was Roger was a good manager. I never had a manager because Ike had those secretaries and everything around except a manager. I didn't know at the time that he was as young as he was, because I still have a habit sometimes. I don't look as deep into things. I didn't care how old he was. He was getting the job done. But it actually paid off because he has a good eye. When I left Ike in 85 was when Private Dancer came. It was really just manager and artist. And that part, looking back on that, is still fun because we were running from studio to studio, walking the streets of London, couldn't get a taxi. So then we rented a car. We were hitting a lot of wing mirrors, I remember. So it made it kind of fun because we were just, we were out there hustling, so to speak. It was just like that, like popping your finger. That part was really very exciting, and coming up with a masterpiece of Private Dancer.
Well, the dates for Tina's tour are the 3rd and 4th of March, 2009 at the O2 in London, Monday the 30th and Tuesday the 31st of March at the MEN Arena in Manchester. Tickets go on sale next Wednesday at 9 a.m. That's not tomorrow, but a week from now. And you can get them by calling the Gold Ticket Hotline. The number 0845 231 8888. This is Gold, and we're back with more Tina in a moment. This is David Jensen on Gold. We've linked up this morning with Tina Turner in Switzerland on the day that she announces her first UK tour in 8 years. Well, back to the subject of women. Now, Tina, you've had a fantastic friendship with two iconic women, Cher and Oprah Winfrey. I'd like to know what it's like when you all get together.
What you're getting is because we are not with each other that much, and so we're catching up. Oprah and I have spent some time, because when she goes to Africa, she usually makes a stop for the French house or this house and stay over a couple of days. And so we do more now. It's a lot of laughter, It's not a lot of drinking. We laugh a lot normally, and in the evening at dinner time comes the champagne and all of that, and then we go into the other part of the laughter. Lots of loud laughter and really honest to goodness fun. I mean, I think that Oprah and I definitely knew each other in another lifetime. I definitely think that. Cher is, of course, in America, so it makes it a little bit difficult. But she and I have a great respect for each other because our lives are very parallel. And we've never actually taken the time to actually sit in our homes and talk about it. But that's to come, I'm sure.
So let's go back to the tour. Not long to go now. Mick Jagger has said that he loves the preparation that goes into a tour, more than actually being on stage. What is the best bit of touring for you?
It's so many people you're responsible for. That's the first thing that you're thinking. This is why I don't like to bring in new personalities. I like to know who's there, because this is a big family that's traveling together for X amount of time, and you have mood swings from people, or they have their problems or whatever. And so this is a number one that has to be clear. What's good? No, I can't say. That's too busy for me because it's constant. It's the girls, what they're going to wear. It's the backing vocals. It's the band. And all of this is my decision because I don't want the band or the girls to look how they want to look. I want them to look how I want them to look.
When I was a little girl, I had a rag doll, only doll. Baby, baby, baby.
River Deep, Mountain High from the Ike and Tina Turner days. So, final question then this morning to my guest, Tina Turner. When we go on holiday, everyone has certain essentials that they need to take with them. So, give me, well, say 5 things that you'll be taking with you on tour.
Well, there are certain things you can definitely make sure you have, but one of the things can be iffy is these days you do need your own cook because you have to eat a certain way for the energy. Certain foods you have to get, and sometimes the kitchen just don't have it. And what the important part of the cook is, your cook knows exactly how you like it, not how the chef that cooks for a whole multitude of people. He knows your way. You don't have to fuss about the food. So these days, I love having my cook. That's a number one. Number 2 is my own coffee, my certain brand. I don't like the mixing of the brands of coffee, okay? Coffee. That's 2, right? 3 is comfortable sitting around hotel clothes, really, because I have to feel like I look good, and then they have to be practical. And I don't like to have very many. It has to be an old friend. You know, it's one that every time, as soon as I take everything off, I put this one on. So it has to be a really good cashmere.
Oh, yes.
In the summer, really good linen, something like this, you know. That's 3 or 4. What is it? How many? I got 2 more.
What about the beds, Tina? Do you sleep well?
This I don't worry about anymore because the hotels and the suites, the presidential suites, the beds are really happening. I remember the days when I took a pillow along because they used to make those rubber pillows, I called them. But now I have to say compliment to the hotels because they have really upgraded the beds and all of that, so I don't have to worry about that. But
Perfume?
Perfume, yeah. My favorite perfumes. There's one for the stage, it's a bit stronger, and then there's the personal ones.
Do you take any photographs with you?
I have the picture of my love, my companion, my boyfriend. I have the picture of my houses.
Tina Turner, thank you very much for being with us, and enjoy the tour.
I was thinking about parking the other night.
You've been listening to a Gold Interview podcast with me, David Jensen, talking to Tina Turner. For more celebrity interview podcasts, go to mygoldmusic.com/podcasts. Tune into my show each Saturday morning from 10 for more celebrity guests and star chat.